I think this was my last question, but obviously you guys are looking to, be your own support, like fan group, do your own thing, stand out from the rest of the league. But are there any supporters groups around the league, like let's say the 3252, Timbers Army, that you guys look at and say, that's the benchmark, that's where we want to get to?
3252 definitely was one group, or not. Remember, they're not a supporters group. They're a collective
Mhm.
of 9 supporters groups. But what they do in LA is really cool. We're personally in the Siege. We're very close to the Resurgence in Atlanta. We have friends in that supporters group. So what Atlanta does is really really cool. And then honestly, other than Orlando, pretty much everybody else in the league has been nothing but welcoming, nothing but very very kind, saying, "Hey, so excited to play you guys. Excited to go down to Miami." We were having really good conversations with the LA Galaxy supporters groups about them coming over. No, like honestly, it's been really really great seeing the response to Miami in the league, especially amongst the supporters group, saying, "Hey, you guys are one of us. Like, come on in," and it's been great. Um, and then modeling ourselves after anybody, it's just is we've seen what works with some groups like Timbers Army does it really well, Seattle does it really well, obviously. But then obviously we have to add our own flavor to things. We have to do our own. We have to do it our own way because um, you, one of the main issues I personally have in a lot of MLS supporter culture is for a lot of teams from one club to another, all you do is change the colors and change some of the words in the songs, and it's the same. It's the same thing. So we wanted to definitely do something a little different, um, especially like we obviously amongst the entire collective of La Familia, we sing a lot more Spanish than maybe some other teams do. Our iconography, our the things that we wear. Like obviously, I'm wearing a pink shirt, and I do it openly and proudly. Like how many people do that? And then like the idea of how do we add pink to everything we can possibly do,
Hmm.
and how do we make it as Miami as possible? Like yes, I've thought about wearing a Miami Vice jacket to games. Yes, um, just like how can we make it any more Miami, any more South Florida? Yeah, no, it's just, and it's going to take time. I also believe that like a lot of people thought that like the supporters culture or at least the fan culture of Miami was going to start immediately and be like set to go because like wherever they came from already was set to go because of the fact that they grew up in it. It had been established decades ago. It's going to take a while because we, like I said, we didn't have a USL club. We didn't have a club and that was promoted, quote unquote. Like we're starting from fresh. Our club's name and everything was only announced a year and a half ago. Like so, it's like just things like that. It's going to take time, but it's going to be something very very special when we truly get it up and running.